So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I'm your host Saieed. The European Union has to date published its updated list of non-cooperative jurisdiction of tax purpose, also known as the EU blacklist, in the official journal of the EU's. Now, the revised EU blacklist, which was approved on February 17, 2026, now shows that Trinidad and Tobago are not on the list. The new blacklist applies from the date of its publication on Friday. There are currently 10 jurisdictions on the US blacklist. So Trinidad and Tobago, we are off the blacklist, thank God for that. We won't have to look like we're ducking taxes now from the outer world. Also, another update. The Ministry of Homeland Security and the Telecommunication Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, TAT, have today signed a memorandum of understanding to strengthen cooperation on cybersecurity. Its establishment, a framework of collaboration between the ministry through the Trinidad and Tobago Cybersecurity Incident Response Team and TATT to approve cyber threat, information sharing, technical cooperation, and cyber incident response. Under the agreement, the two bodies will share information on cyber threats, exchange technical research, and collaborate on strengthening national cyber incident response capabilities. Now, the two parties is responsible for national cybersecurity, situational awareness, and incidents response, while TATT regulates the telecommunication sector. So we want to welcome both parties. Congratulations on this great achievement. Hopefully in Trinidad and Tobago, viewers, with cyberbullying now, when you make a report, hopefully we can get a quick response on any incident or matter that is taking place. So that is a move in the right direction, viewers. We are heading up in the tech world with some great news. Also, the Deputy Commissioner, Susan Martin, has revealed that the TTPS has arrested 773 citizens with 16 preventative detention order approved 10 days after the recent state of emergency was announced. Deputy Martin was speaking during Friday's TTPS briefing and given an update of the SOE to the media. She said the arrest stemmed from over 900 TTPS exercises conducted thus far. Deputy Martin.
16 of these orders approved, 18 firearms recovered, 949 ammunition recovered, 720 grams of cocaine, 230.585 kilograms of marijuana, 88 cannabis trees, and 1.45 grams of ecstasy.
This was also confirmed by Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar. She was questioned by opposition leader Penelope Beckles. Listen to this.
I have been informed, Honourable Speaker, by the Minister of Homeland Security that 373 persons have so far been detained.
So Trinidad and Tobago, into our current affairs segment. Defense Minister Wayne Sturge have stated that the failure of the ZOSO legislation added to the effect of the latest state of emergency. Speaking in an interview with the media station, the minister said there was a parliamentary oversight into the debate of the ZOSO legislation, which left government with few alternatives in curbing crime challenges such as reinstating the SOE. Let's hear what he has to say.
If we are faced with a situation where the ZOSO bill, which is virtually identical to the one in Jamaica and which works in Jamaica, if we are faced with a situation where we are not getting support, what do? You just allow people to be murdered and throw your hands up? That may be a political victory for the PNM. That's not how a responsible government operates.
So viewers, the Minister sought to defend the SOE, reflecting on a threat made by a relative of a crime victim who suffered 64 stab wounds. The relative promised revenge by means of taking the lives of 64 persons. Imagine that, eh? Imagine that. Still said, government has to take steps into protecting innocent citizens. Sturge.
You have to take steps to protect persons because he's saying I'm not going again to kill gangsters only. If I'm targeting persons in Diego Martin and I have to kill anybody I see outside, I'll do that. So what do you do as a government? You just allow him to do it? We don't have ZOSO. We know who to thank for that.
He has also been accused by the opposition of being uncooperative and unwilling to answer questions posted by the media. This was his response to those accusations.
Since September, thereabouts, most of these stories in the media I felt were alarmist, and many questions that were asked, if asked by a knowledgeable media, that would lead me to think that they were being disingenuous. So it's either they were being disingenuous or ignorant of the law on privilege. We have no desire to hide things. We would be as open as possible. But there are some things in which we cannot disclose.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister, Kamala Persaud, have stated that the Trinidad and Tobago participation in the Americas counter-cartel coalition does not compromise any relationship it has with other countries. Speaking in the Parliament on Friday, after returning from Florida, for the Shields of America summit hosted by the U.S. President Donald Trump in Doral, Persaud thanked Trump for including Trinidad and Tobago in what she described as a very historic coalition across the Western Hemisphere. The PM added that the coalition would provide Trinidad and Tobago with real-time intelligence sharing, support in combating illegal firearm trafficking, improve maritime and border security, the access to Trinidad or the access to training and technology amid the dismantling organized crime network in our country. Listen to this.
Cartels operate across borders. They know no borders. They are borderless. And through this coalition that we have formed, law enforcement agencies will share real-time intelligence on trafficking routes, on gang leaders, on financial networks, and weapons shipments. And so with better intelligence sharing, our forces here in security can act faster and more effectively.
Responding to criticism about the potential impact, the PM said, Trinidad and Tobago remains strong and firm. Listen to this.
I repeat, and some seem to misunderstand, when we partner with people, they think we are giving up our sovereignty. No, we are partnering. It's a partnership, it's a coalition for joint interests and to protect the people of our land. So I repeat, commitment to peace sovereignty and stability. TNT's sovereignty remains strong and firmly intact. Our participation in America's counter-cartel coalition reflects our commitment to regional cooperation in tackling transnational crime, whilst at the same time we maintain full control over our national decisions and policy. We maintain that sovereignty. And so sovereignty is never weakened by partnerships, Mr. Speaker. It is strengthened when nations work together to protect their people, to protect borders, and our democratic institutions. That's what it is. It's a partnership.
Predecessor also pointed to the legal framework governing the coalition activities, saying any use of force would be lawful, accountable, and subject to democratic oversight.
Actions undertaken through this collaboration will be guided by law, ensuring the use of force and all operational measures remain lawful and accountable. I have a very good issue on my side.
So viewers, Prime Minister, State and the Prime Minister, Predecessor has assured that the cybersecurity infrastructure supporting the new online arrival/departure card, the ADC platform is robust enough to safeguard sensitive passenger data from potential breach. Listen to this.
I was advised to just say yes. Well, I'll say yes, but also this is a very important initiative. Should have been rolled out a decade ago. So I'm very happy my government, through Minister of Homeland Security, is now rolling out this package. The answer to your question, sir, is yes.
So viewers, normally if you leave Trinidad, there's a paper to follow out. Most of the time when I go Guyana, from Trinidad to Guyana have an up-to-date system, you know. An up-to-date system. When you're reaching the airport, scan a QR code, and you follow the information. And that's it. You scan your passport and you're gone. Coming back to Trinidad, they gave you a long paper. A long paper to fill it out manually to come through custom. So hopefully Trinidad and Tobago, the system that they will be using is a system that they will be using around the world. And the security, I guess they will probably be using the same security, same technology, same scanner to build the system. So I guess it's going to be strong. Starting Tuesday, 17th of March, travelers will no longer be required to complete the traditional paper-based arrival and departure forms. Instead, they will be required to submit a digital form through the new system. Let's hope the new system is shorter and more effective than you have to follow that 2-page or 3-page document on that system. Because I will tell you something, Guyana, when you scan a QR code, it's just about 5 or 6 different lines you're filling out, and that's it, you know. That's it. Now, the platform will be fully replace the paper document that passengers previously had to fill out when entering or leaving the country. Questions on the cost of the platform. Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander also stated that the cost remains unknown as it relates to national security. So, I will say this. Is taxpayers' money spent behind it? I want Roger to understand something. There's a difference. You see, if you spend taxpayers' money to buy bulletproof vests, yes, we understand the security. Police need bulletproof vests, but what was the cost of the vest? You see, it's the same thing with body cams. Body cams is for police and for security, but there's a fee attached. So the public wants to know how much it costs for the cameras and the service and maintenance of the cameras. You see, taxpayers' money spending. And then, Roger Alexander, you need to come clean with Trinidad and Tobago in telling us what is the cost of the platform. How much is it going to cost to maintain? How much is it going to cost to service? How much does it cost to install? You see, you just can't say because our security system. No way, no way, no way, no way. You see, Roger, you didn't spend that money. The government used taxpayers' money. And once you're using taxpayers' money, you have to give accountability. So if the Auditor General now ask, because the Auditor General have to give a report to Trinidad and Tobago, you know. Because it's taxpayers' money. And that's what Colin Mimbut was ducking from when he was the Minister of Finance. You understand? Receipts for money spent. So just how every ministry have to give accountability to the minister or the Ministry of Finance how much money they spent. It's the same way, Roger Alexander, concerning the price, you have to answer the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago how much it cost. You see, I want you to understand there's a difference between the security apparatus of what it entails and the cost of that security apparatus. We don't know what the security entails, but we want to know how much money was spent. So if we ask for police vehicle now, you can say, well, because it's security, you can't give us that amount. No, that's madness. That is madness. So my friend, hopefully by Monday or Tuesday, Trinidad and Tobago will know how much this platform cost. It's taxpayers' money that is being spent. It's not Roger money. It's not the government money. It is taxpayers' money. I want you to understand that. And accountability, you all want transparent? Be transparent will be in the public. Because I will be asking. I will be asking. Listen to what he has to say now, Trinidad and Tobago, concerning the same thing.
The Ministry of Homeland Security, and because of the security involved, we don't want to discuss the cost at this time. However, there cannot be a cost attached to improving the quality of life of citizens, really. So I wanted to keep that in mind.
So viewers, he added that Regional Security Body, CARICOM Implementation Agency for Crime and Security, is the vendor of the program, which is good. Meanwhile, Minister of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence, Dominic Smith, stressed that the government culture is that of transparency. So Dominic, if the government culture is that of transparency, we need to know how much of millions of taxpayers' dollars was being spent or is being spent on this system. That is what we want to know. Transparency is a must. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this.
Anything related to costs, there's no secret, you know.
Exactly.
There's a level of transparency and accountability across this government that hasn't been seen in a very long time. So I think what Minister is trying to reveal to you is that the concentration here is really on the net benefit and reward of this system. You know, so I think the focus really needs to be on that. But I mean, related to costs, is the government's responsibility to get value for money.
What a stupid response. I would say that. That type of response, that little child response, didn't call from a big man. From a big man. What is the cost of the system? And that is what we want to know. We understand it's for security. We understand the purpose of it. But what is the cost? You see, every time the PNM did something, they would bring out a cost. Whether it is right or wrong, they brought out that cost. So what is the reason for hiding the cost? Dominic, I want to ask you that. What is the reason for hiding the cost? Don't tell us it's security. We understand that. We understand that. What is the cost? You all went through procurement? A simple question. Was there transparency? Now, you understand that you said, who are the people responsible? We understand that. We understand who are the people. But what is the cost? Let Trinidad and Tobago determine if they spend too much or less. It's sad, you know, two big men. And none of them tell Trinidad and Tobago how much it cost. It's sad, boy. It's sad. Little children could answer that. But if this is the way all I intend to run the government with transparency, but then the people ain't gonna really care what all they say, just like they really don't care what the PNM say anymore. Because the PNM was there for 9 years and did not uplift Trinidad and Tobago. And all you will get is, wait now, big man answering like little children. Trinidad and Tobago heard it. You all answered like little children. Call a good night. Hello? You still can get the click. So we're moving on to Trinidad and Tobago. Now, there is now call for the intervention of Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa and or Minister of Works and Infrastructure Julian John, as vendors of the breakfast shed have been given until end of April to vacate the premises. Again, these are next issue. Vendors said they were also unable to secure a meeting with Urban Development Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago. Issue arising includes rent payment owed by vendors to UDCOT, monies allegedly owed to the breakfast shed by way of a 2.6 million electricity overpayment due to the wrong classification by UDCOT. Chairman of Friends of the Breakfast Shed, Robert Lahunt, indicated that all requests for a meeting have fallen on deaf ears. Already?
The vendors are therefore respectfully asking that the notice to quit be rescinded.
So listen to the cry fall on the deaf ears, and then we're going to hear how they have been treated.
The vendors are therefore respectfully asking that the notice to quit be rescinded so that meaningful dialogue can take place. We are also respectfully calling on the Honorable Julian John, Minister with responsibility for UDCOT, to intervene so that a fair and constructive resolution can be achieved.
Lahunt stated that the vendors have been treated unjustly in a number of ways. What a sad thing, eh? Now, legal representative for the vendors, attorney at law Kenneth Monroe Brown, also stated that upon UDCOT's request, he wrote to them on behalf of the vendors. Listen to this.
You have gotten frivolous reasons. Well, if you are looking at a matter of legal action of money owed since 2005, we can't talk to you.
And what did they do? They never responded. Never responded. Instead, they decide, well, hey, notice to quit. So that's like retaliation, how dare you? But we're calling on them publicly to sit with us, or have your operatives at UDCOT sit with us. Or we're calling on the Prime Minister to direct them to sit with us.
Hola, good night.
Hey, Mr. Saieed, good night, sir.
Hello?
Here, because of the police cameras, the way they're not wearing, that causes a national security issue. What about the cause of them Jeep and them when they're mashing up?
Correct.
That's a national security issue. What about the cause of a new police station? What about the fact that up to now, it have police station where I have pen and paper and rubber and lead pencil, as opposed to Minister Dominic putting computers and Wi-Fi in stations. You know, it amazes me that fella name, you know, it have a starboy named Dom in Fast and the Furious, right? The starboy. Well, it also have a Dumb and Dumberer in a certain movie. I wonder if that is the movie this fella come from. Good night, sir.
Thank you, my friend. No, but let me tell you something. That is too ridiculous statement from two individuals that's sitting in high position in government in Trinidad and Tobago. They're talking about watch now, they're ashamed to talk about transparency. They're ashamed to talk about transparency. A question was put forward to you, how much does it cost? Is taxpayers' money being spent? And all I have to say is security, security, security. Security is taxpayers' money being spent. So taxpayers have a right to know now how much money that is being spent. It's simple as that. It's sad, boy, Dominic boy. It's sad for you sitting in a position to answer a question like a 5-year-old child or a 10-year-old child who's not writing SEA. It's sad. Stinking sad. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed. Great program. And you're quite right. It's stinking sad. And wherever you go in this country, people are upset and they're angry because we hired people, you know. We hired people. They are our employees. And when you see the whole bunch of political dictators, they get up a morning and they feel to make a statement, they feel to implement some law, they say, right, this is the law. They consult with the citizen. Look at this. We happy? Yes, we have to move forward. So the advance departure and arrival warning system that they're going to implement. The reporters asking how much it costs. That is not your money, Roger Alexander, and to the bunch of politicians. That is not your money. That is the citizen money. You have all rights to report to the citizen. They should have consulted the citizen and tell the citizen what is the cause for this and bring the citizen on board that you're going to implement this system. So you get up one morning, nobody just, if you are people in this country never use a phone. All they use a phone for is to dial a number, receive and call a number. That's all. They don't know how to go on WhatsApp. They know how to download. Like myself, I never use a computer. I don't know what is a mouse. I never use I have a CPAP phone, they call it, to dial and receive. So what I going to do when I go to the airport? How I getting somebody? I don't have nobody to fill out a form for a departure form for me online. What I am going to do? Explain this to the citizen, Alexander. You own this country, Explain that to the citizen and have an option also available at the airport. So, Mr. Said, you are widely traveled man. You travel all over this world. Even US, Canada, England, you go to, they have that system. If you can't use the system to check in as you go in there, the officer there standing and say, okay, join this line.
Correct.
And you go there.
Correct.
So we want to tell us what is the option we have in this country. But a whole bunch of dictators we have here. Mr. Said, great program. You keep up this work. We will deal with these bunch of dictators. God bless you and your staff.
Thank you, my friend. So, Trans-Tobago, now that the system is being launched, I wonder if there are anybody at the airport who would show an individual now how, if there's a QR code to scan, how to enter, what to do, what not to do. I wonder if there are people in place to do that. Caller, good night.
Mr. Shahid,
Go right ahead. Hello?
Mr. Shahid, bear me 1 second again. Mr. Shahid, this new system when they're bringing in here, I hope they're talking about you have to have an email address for them to send this and to send that. I have no idea what they're talking about. They send out a video. That video is the most confusing thing it have. I hope when you see that Haji and them going up to Hajj, all them sort of old people were traveling up and down New York, that they're walking with an email address on a computer somewhere so they could just tune in. They're mad with this thing, Good night, sir. Take care.
Thank you, my friend. Viewers, we have a fast short commercial break, but when we come back, guns, girls, and gold are what the Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander, calls 3Gs driving at risk, youth into crime. Sad. But when we return.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com. When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, according to Roger Alexander, guns, girls, and gold are what the Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander, called the 3 Gs, driven at risk for youth into crime. At the Ministry of Homeland Security seminar on vulnerable youths, the minister asked how security can steer young people away from the influence that leads them into crime. Listen to this.
How do we move away the youth from the 3 Gs? You know the 3 Gs? Guns, girls, and gold. How do we move them away from that? What could you say to them that will move them away from that? Do you have money to give them free?
You know, sometimes I just wonder, sometimes here in Trinidad and Tobago, turning his attention to the parent of these at-risk youth, Minister Alexander posed a question for them. Listen to this.
What you as a parent have done to change your mindset? Did you give your children the foundation that is necessary? That no street, no gold, no girls, no gun could influence them otherwise. And let them know that they are wasting their time to influence you. I'm an adult male, and to date, I never took one drink of alcohol. I'm an adult male and never one day placed anything close to a cigarette by my lips.
Meanwhile, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Association of Psychologists, Victoria Jilal Singh, said the problem did not originate with these young people. Listen to this now.
Criminality, violence, delinquency, these are not abstract phenomena occurring in a vacuum. But these are cumulative outcomes of 1,000 small failures and missed opportunities. Opportunities that we miss, all of us in this room. Those moments where we, as a collective, looked away.
So Trinidad and Tobago, you know what we miss? We miss the trade school. We miss the garages. That is what we miss. Because when a young man come out of school, and there is nothing to afford, no trade school. No trade school. When there is no trade school, there is no trade. There is no experts. There is no qualification. How do we fix crime then? When you close down trade schools, people have to do what they have to do to survive. That is the reality. Now, a youth man might be looking for a job, but when you go to the grocery ain't taking on nobody because they at a capacity where they have to monitor spending also. When they drop out of school and they go to a closed store, no, we're not hiring, we're full right now. When they go to the grocery, they're full right now. What about the garages, the trade school, electrical, plumbing, welding, straightening, electrical? Where's all these things? So now you would find that when you have an absence of these things, you will find idle hands. I'll tell you this at Trinidad and Tobago. An institute could only absorb a certain amount of people, you know. And after it absorbs a certain amount of people, that's it. Where does the rest go? Where does the rest go? And this is the problem. For a country of 1.4 million people that extract oil from the ground, we became the poorest. The poorest in what? In opportunity. The poorest in what? In establishment. The poorest in what? In job creation. But we have millions and billions of dollars flowing through the economy in Trinidad and Tobago and no creation, no recreation, nothing to develop a skill, no place to go that a youth man, you know what, if I go here and I do a little skill, I could fall back with a company, I could fall in a garage, I could probably get a government job, I could probably open up my own business. They don't have that option anymore. They don't, because over the years, everything has been shut down. Everything has been shut down. So it's not a matter of the gun and the girls and the drugs. There's no opportunities. So it leads to a life of crime. What you expect? If a grocery take on 50 workers, there is only 50 they can take on. They cannot take on more. And this is the reality we are facing right here in our country. A country where oil is being developed, where oil is being drilled. We have a refinery, and this is the problem. Let me tell you something, viewers. In the next 4 or 5 years from now, we ain't got no skilled labor in this country, you know. Take what I'm telling you. Take what I'm telling you. It could be real sad. Real sad. Viewers, the Special Victim Department of the TTPS recently carried out a nationwide anti-crime initiative dubbed Operation Beacon. This resulted in the arrest and charging of 8 individuals and the clearance of 18 reports. This was revealed during a TTPS media briefing on Friday. ASP O.E. Russell said, throughout extensive investigation, throughout multiple police divisions, the operation addressed several offenses. Listen to this.
The operation addressed offenses including sexual penetration, sexual touching, kidnapping, child abandonment, breach of protection orders, choking, forced imprisonment, and assault occasioning actually bodily harm.
In one of the operations, a 24-year-old Tobagonian man was granted bail in the sum of $200,000 with surety after several charges. Listen to this.
3 counts of choking, 1 count of assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and 1 count of false imprisonment following an incident on the 26th of February 2026. The accused allegedly assaulted the victim at his residence, but she escaped with the assistance from passerbys. Bail conditions include reporting to the Scarborough Police Station every Saturday and maintaining no contact with the victim. The matter is adjourned to the 5th of November 2026 for a sufficiency hearing.
In other operation, another Tobagonian man, 40 years old of age, was charged with a protection order breach and 2 counts of child abandonment. Wow.
On the 8th of March 2026, he reportedly threatened to kill the complainant while she was at Chill Out Bar and left their 2 children in his care. He is expected to appear before the Scarborough High Court.
So viewers, I want to thank that police officer for carrying out that operation. What we need now is for that operation to continue throughout the country, randomly. And you will hear the amount of protection breaches that there are in our country. You will hear that the amount of sexual activities that has been going on in our country. And it has just been swept under the carpet. Under the carpet. You would hear how much cases that the DPP is supposed to give answers on, to report on. And you will be surprised to know how much cases are just standing still. You'll be surprised to know. So that officer, what I would like him to do is to continue Operation Beacon throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Extensively, and you will know, you will come up with a vast amount of cases and people who are very slack. Very, very slack. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. When we come back, 4 officers charged with misbehavior in public office. Wow. And it continues.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you.
Welcome back.
4 police officers have appeared before San Fernando Magistrate Court, charged with misbehavior in public office. 4 police constables appeared before a master on Wednesday, where the matter was postponed to April 23rd. The 4 constables were charged with conspiracy to pervert the course of justice by allegedly concealing the discovery of a firearm and ammunition. The charges stemmed from a December 2025 incident. Bail was granted with surety.
The vast majority of officers
on bail for $275,000, while one was on bail for $150,000. Viewers, meanwhile, speaking during Friday's TTPS media briefing, Deputy Police Commissioner Susan Martin said that TTPS reaffirms a zero-tolerance approach to officers' misconduct. Listen to this now.
The vast majority of officers of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service serve with integrity, professionalism, and dedication to public safety. However, for the minority who choose to betray the uniform and the trust of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, the consequences will be decisive.
Deputy Martin also issued a warning from the Police Commissioner, Alessa Grovero, to officers who choose to use the TTPS as a shield for criminal activity. Let's hear what he has to say.
If you choose to engage in wrongdoing, you will be found, you will be removed, and you will face the full brunt of the law. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service will not carry anyone who seeks to corrupt its mission or tarnish its name. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service continues to urge members of the public to work with us by sharing information, reporting suspicious activity, and partnering with our officers to strengthen community safety.
So now, viewers, I want to say this. Now, when we have police officers that are being charged, right? Yes, they have to be innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. But the thing is, Trinidad and Tobago, while you on this charge, you will be suspended from job. Good? Nice. So hear this. While you are suspended from this police job now, you are getting paid from TTPS. And while you are on suspension now, you are looking for another job because you're no longer with the TTPS working as you're supposed to be. But you're on suspension, you're collecting, I believe, if half the salary or whole salary, but you're looking outside now for another job. While on this other job now, when your matter comes up, you will attend court. But sometimes, in the span of the years, if you're on a regular SRP, you might want to write an exam for a corporal or a sergeant. You understand? So when a case matter comes up now and it finish, TTPS have to pay you now whatever remaining salary and promote you. So how can this be possible? How can this be possible? Why are you getting paid while being on suspension? You waste of taxpayers' money. You know why am I saying that? Because you are before a court. You are before the court for something that you are charged for by another TTPS officer. By another TTPS officer. So why is it that the government now or TTPS is paying you while you're on suspension? Why? Why? You are a human being. You are not above no law. You're supposed to be enforcing the law on the right side but you get caught up on the left side. And let me tell you something, there are thousands of cases before the magistrates, and the government is spending thousands of dollars while paying these individuals, as we call them, suspended police officers, who were caught up on the left side of the law when they're supposed to be on the right side. Why is this? From the time you get charged for an incident, slash your pay one time. No payment from TTPS until the matter is resolved. You're out the force. Look for another job like anybody else. You're supposed to uphold, not use that position to terrorize people. And that's the problem we have in Trinidad. Thousands of taxpayers' dollars are being paid to suspended police officers. What does the DPP office has to say about that? What does Roger Alexander have to say about that now? What does Wayne Sturge have to say about that? What does former heads Marvin Gonzalez have to say about this? Taxpayers' money are being wasted. Wasted. Why are you still collecting a salary? You are charged, you'll be for the court. Your treatment is like a human being now, not an officer. So how do we fix this? How do we fix this problem? How do we cut this millions of taxpayers' dollars are being spent to suspended officers? If it's a good officer and you're working, which means nothing wrong. But from the time you are caught up with an incident and you are charged, get out. Get out. Just like if I am working in a grocery, right? And if I get charged for stealing, you think the grocery man is going to continue paying me while my matter is before the court? No, I will have to leave that job and look for a next job. I have to look for a different salary. We have a problem in Trinidad and Tobago. We have a problem where suspended officers are being paid while being charged before the court. And this is a problem that the National Security Ministry have to fix. You know how much money that could save Trinidad and Tobago. You know how much millions of dollars that could be saved and absorbed somewhere else. Millions of dollars. Millions. But, you know, when we have educated dunce running offices, how it is be? Educated dunce. That is how I would put it. Let me carry you back to Maxwell Richards. Maxwell Richards got a stroke. A minister, PNM minister. I want to refresh your memory. He got a stroke under Keith Rowley administration. You cannot perform your duty. But you know what he was getting? He was getting his salary. And the government was paying his medical bill. Ask Keith Rowley, he will tell you. Ask Keith Rowley, he will tell you. Ask Terence Dialsing, they will tell you. Imagine we paying. We have a set of educated dunce in this country, you know. We're paying a man for non-performance. That is what we're paying for. So collaborate. This minister getting a salary for no performance. And it's the same thing with the suspended police officer. You're getting a salary, but you're not working. So what is the purpose of you collecting a salary? Wastage. I wonder if Roger Alexander could understand what I'm saying. I wonder if the AI man could understand what I'm saying. Because when somebody asks earlier, how much does the system cost? Don't tell them security. We already know it's security. We are done see. We already know it's security. But what is the cost for it? The cost is security? Or let's prove, step by step, or let's prove in the Trinidad and Tobago that are illiterate for the position. Step by step. Because I will say this without apology. On the campaign field was one thing, but when you got into power, you started off prosecuting the people with lies and deceptions. That is why the PNM is on the opposite side. I want to let you understand that. I really, really want to let you understand that. Because not because you're sitting down in a minister chair, which means you had the brain to govern that chair. Here's the reason why I asked Trinidad and Tobago, who was your representative for the last 9 years and what did they do for the community? Ask any minister what they did for the community. But we as dancing head people, we as educated people, clapping for no performance. I remember when Keith Rowley said, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are stupid on a platform. Watch me now, the entire crowd started to clap. The entire crowd started to clap. That is why I could stand here and say bold and brave without apology. We had a minister calling us stupid. He recognized that, hey, these people are stupid. And you know what? We listen to the man. We understand the man calling we stupid. And we so stupid enough now to stand up in the crowd and clap for the man who calling we stupid. Imagine that, eh? Imagine that. So let me go back to Eli. On the campaign trail, I showed you a burn reference to show you. No performance and again pay. On the campaign trail, Prime Minister said, the PNM taxing the citizens so we could become a rich country. Eli said, ticket fines, when it raise, is not to generate fund. So I want Eli to come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago how that is not generating fund. Educated dunce is how I would call them. We have a set of that in Trinidad and Tobago. A whole set. So I hope the DPP office, Ministry of National Security, together with Justice Frank C. Prasad, could fix the problem. Could fix the problem. Wastage needs to cut by millions. So viewers, we're out of time for tonight. It's the weekend in Trinidad and Tobago. You all be safe until we meet up Monday night for another live Real Talk with Saieed. Until then, enjoy.